Have you ever heard a faint twinkling in your garden on a summery spring day? Or maybe your heart has felt a soft flutter of wings and rush of magic from time to time? A gentle whisper or sprinkling of hope, perhaps? Fairy portals are all around you. You see, you just have to know where to look in order to access their magic. First, might I share a word of caution? Fairies and their magic are not to be taken lightly. Portals always appear when we need them, but not all are meant to stay open. So in addition to opening the portals, you must know what the portals are, when to access them, and when it's time to return home. How to open a fairy portal. It's first helpful to note that fairies are more transparent with children, while their little minds are wild with imagination and they connect quite easily with magic. Adults tend to not be that way as often, so the fairies are a bit more careful. But that same magic you found as a child is surely accessible to you now. If you struggle to recognize portals as an adult, the fairies suggest reminiscing on your own childhood. What did you enjoy doing that you've let go of in your current years? Hobbies, interests, passions? Maybe a topic or hobby is coming to mind at this moment. Be sure to consider those thoughts, as it seems a common inclination is to push them away. Sometimes before we've even noticed the thoughts occurring. I've noticed recently that the concept of being passionate has been labeled as cringy. Okay, hear me out. I've spent so many years pretending like I'm a type B personality, super chill, going with the flow. No, on the contrary, as I've allowed myself to be more passionate, it's like I have light in my life again. I'm allowed to care. You're allowed to care about things. Did you know? One of the things in my childhood that was really super exciting for me, looking back, I realize how maybe strange it was, but at the time I didn't realize it and nobody told me, okay? But I had a small group of friends when I was maybe 10. I called us the Giggle Girls. I made a monthly newsletter that I printed off. It featured one of the girls in the group. It had a calendar of events and holidays. I hosted a few events for the Giggle Girls. We did a spa night. And now I create my cozy kids. I have my little email list, and it's the same vibe, but it's Haven Hollow instead of Giggle Girls. That part of me that was so excited as a kid, and then as I got older, I was like, oh yeah, that was kind of a weird thing to do. I better be normal. I don't know. Sometimes being normal makes me feel heavy. Different portals hold different forms of magic. Some are restful, and others provide creative energy or insight into our intuition. When choosing a portal, it helps to think first on what form of magic you're in need of by clearly feeling the emotions and thoughts you hold in the moment. These passions are brilliant portals into harnessing your own brand of fairy magic. They activate that flow state where time stands still and your full creative energy can be accessed. And in that state, you can open portals to just about anywhere you'd like. Opening these portals is simple but powerful. The key is to be completely present in the current moment to get the full experience that each magical realm has to offer. You'll notice you've entered a portal when you shift to that feeling of losing track of time. when your energy feels flowy and free, and the world fades away to reveal the magic of your passion. And that's both magical and potentially not so magical, so let's be mindful. See, fairy portals can serve as healing escapes for our souls. They add magic to perhaps otherwise mundane circumstances. But it's quite important to also live our mundane lives and find the magic within them. Sometimes we find escapes that fuel our souls, and other times those escapes find a way to replace our realities. That's not always helpful, and it's very good to find the balance between the beauty of reality and the beauty of escapism. And besides, the fairies don't have all day, and you can't stay with them forever. And frankly, they're quite good at letting you know when you've overextended your welcome. And that's for the best, I'd say. Now we've covered how to recognize portals, when to use them. What about where to find them? I often find portals hidden inside the harmony of my favorite songs, or sometimes hidden in the container of sugar when I'm baking. More often the brown sugar than the white sugar, if you care to know the specifics. Other times they're more subtle, like when you're walking in a park and lose all sense of time. You become one with the song of the birds and feel that faint twinkle of the fairies chiming in with the falling leaves and the gentle breeze. Many people find easy access to portals in books. Have you ever opened your favorite book and fallen right into a completely new world? Obviously, creating artwork opens all sorts of new worlds as well, or even petting your cat. Those are all very common portals, but if you dig deeper, you'll find what I like to call your unique forms of magic. These are portals that are a little more specific to you personally. Those niche hobbies and interests that you've discovered along your journey that bring you joy, though they might not be as common. For example, I love keyboards. The clack sound when you're typing, or a fresh 0.7 ballpoint pen with a nice grip hold when you're writing. Magic. We've all got lists of them. So take some time to get to know yourself. You might also find portals in your favorite locations and people, not just in activities. Perhaps you have a favorite thrift store you love to peruse, or the Very Normal Cafe in Haven Hollow holds all sorts of magical portals. Or have you ever felt time slow when you're with a good friend or loved one? Those are your portals. See, at the heart of all magic is passion, and unlocking that passion is key to unlocking and entering these fairy portals. In these magical realms, we discover new sparks to keep our lights bright and more energy to bring back to share with the world. Now, this is a nuanced topic, so I hope that what I'm about to say comes across in the way that I intended. But I used to think that I was obligated to share whatever magic I had, whatever portals I had found, that I was obligated to share that with others. Always. More recently, I've found that it can be a beautiful experience to also hold that magic close to your heart when you have quiet moments. Do you know what I mean? You don't always have to share the key to your portals. I call these our protected magic portals. There's a time for sharing and a time to use your light for your own healing and happiness. You deserve healing and happiness, and sparks and magic and fairy portal escapes. So the next time you feel inclined to make yourself a bit smaller, to minimize those passions, or to set aside a joy-filled hobby, consider embracing those parts of yourself instead. Those sparks within you are what keep your portals accessible. Just be sure to return home from time to time, because my goodness, the world needs your magic.